Yo guys, welcome back. I'm just sitting in my car. I'm actually in my neighborhood right now. I just decided to park here, just in case maybe another order will appear. I did a delivery just now. I had to go to Shaughnessy and Millrise, and I delivered, it was one order, but two deliveries for two different people. And yeah, I just had to deliver Tim Hortons to them. And yeah, yesterday was actually a pretty good day because when I delivered those 3 bags of McDonald's, my customer gave me a massive tip, $19. I couldn't believe it. That was really good because it would have been like a $12 order, but he made it like 19. So that's awesome because I delivered McDonald's to these 3 construction workers, and they were they decided to tip me a big amount of money. So yeah, that was awesome. Yesterday was pretty good. And yeah, I'll show you where I am. I'm actually making a part 2 video because I wanted to make a part 1 video, but I couldn't do it because I don't know, I was just driving and I was focusing on driving and I couldn't really talk and drive at the same time. So at least I parked now and I can briefly talk. And yeah, there was a car crash that happened. There were a lot of people. I witnessed it too. I saw a car crash. Some people were just because the guy in front of me slowed down very suddenly and quickly. And I don't blame him. It's because there were cars slowing down in front of him. I quickly slowed down. The people behind me slowed down. And then someone even more behind me, they didn't have time to stop and they hit the other drivers. So yeah. And then they had to go get out of their car and talk and yeah, exchange their numbers. But yeah, anyways, guys, so I'm gonna finally talk about, the topic of this video and just talking about the fact that I still miss her, Now, if you're someone who's subscribed to me and you're a frequent viewer of my channel, you'll know exactly who I'm talking about. But if you're someone who you're not subscribed to me, you just somehow found this video. Well, long story short, and this happened a long time ago. This was a while ago. This was back in October of 2024. So I was still 23 years old when this happened, but now I'm 25. So quite some time has passed. And I had a very amazing encounter with a girl, even though this girl was not my girlfriend, but I was just heading home on the train late at night, and then I met this girl. She initiated conversation with me first, so she started talking first to me, and we got to know each other a little bit. And then I went on the bus with her. I decided to hang out with her, and then she was touching my hair on the bus. And then next thing you know, she started holding my hand. I'm just gonna decline this order. It's a $3 order. And yeah, she started holding my hand, and then next thing you know, she started kissing me on the lips. And yeah, and then I had my first ever hookup with her. So yeah, and ever since that incident happened, I was really, really happy at first, but as time would go on, I would eventually start to become really depressed. I would start to really miss her over time because it was not, me and her, deep down, were not meant to be together. It was just supposed to be a one-time thing. But I still miss her, even though so much time has passed since I last saw her. And but I've learned a lot from it, and basically, it makes sense why I would miss her so much, because this girl was my first ever sexual encounter that I had. That was my first ever sexual encounter with her. That was, you could call it, my first real intimate encounter, my first long 10-minute kiss it was. We were kissing for 10 minutes. And it's not like I can just move on and forget about her, because that was a very massive milestone for me, And obviously I'm not going to just move on and forget about her. You know, she's always going to be a person, you know, who I won't forget. And it's like, because that was just such a powerful, intense situation, like, as to what has, you know, happened. And yeah, so it was really crazy, you know. I couldn't believe what happened that night. And yeah, and hold on a sec. And I feel like if you're a guy and you've had your first ever sexual encounter or your first kiss, you're not just gonna forget this girl, right? You're gonna probably think about her for the rest of your life, at least to an extent, right? Especially if she's the girl who initiated a first kiss, a first, you know, sexual encounter. So it's perfectly fine to miss that person. There's nothing you can do about it. But now, how did I feel after I kissed her? If you guys are wondering, I immediately felt very relieved, very happy. I had a massive, like, you know, that intense dopamine feeling that you get when something amazing happened to you. That's exactly how I felt. And this feeling lasted in my system for a very long time, for several months. I felt very intense euphoria. I felt very, very happy. And yeah, and this would last for up to maybe 6 months, I would say. And it lasted for quite a while. And yeah, so it's pretty crazy how long it lasted. So I already knew that same night, that same exact night that I was with her, I already knew that I was never gonna see her again. I already knew that. But I wasn't upset because of that. I did not feel any sadness. I did not feel depression. And the reason why I did not feel depression is, you know, because of what I just did with her, right? The sexual encounter, the kissing. That made me feel so happy that I didn't think about the long-term consequences, that I'm never gonna see her again. I didn't think about that. I already knew that. That same night, I knew that I was never gonna see her again, but it's like, I just felt so relieved, so happy. So that's why I didn't feel any sadness when me and her, like, forever, you know, parted ways, right? That's why I didn't feel upset. I was just so happy as to what has happened. And yeah, this feeling would go on for a while. The rest of 2024, I was very satisfied, very happy. And then going on to early 2025, I still felt very happy. It felt like a recent memory. In like January 2025, that's only like 3 months since I saw her. That still felt very recent. I still had a lot of dopamine. I would always smile thinking about her. So then eventually, you know, by the time April hit, like April 2025, how much is that? Let's see, 2, 3, 4, that's 6 months already. 6 months since I saw her. I felt okay, but then that dopamine feeling in my brain was starting to slowly wear off now. This is kind of the early stages, I would say, when I would start to actually kind of miss her a little bit. Now, did I miss her a lot? No, I didn't really miss her even after 6 months. I just had a little bit of nostalgia. I started to sort of miss her a little bit. But then the summer of 2025, I was mostly okay still. I didn't really miss her that much. But July 2025, I was kind of starting to like be not far away from the 1-year anniversary since I saw her. Now, this is where things started to go really, really dark. This started to happen around August. August is when I suddenly changed and I started to miss her now. I was upset that soon it'll be a year since I saw her. And every month just got worse and worse. Then it was September. September, I started to feel really upset. You know, I started to actually feel really bad. And yeah, and it just like... And if you're wondering why did I suddenly start to miss her, you might be saying like, how come I did not miss her right away? Why did it take me a year to start to miss her? Well, for two reasons. Because the first reason is because the dopamine feeling completely wore off after like 6 months to a few more months after that. I don't know. The dopamine feeling wore off, and I didn't have that sense of accomplishment or happiness anymore because it became a distant memory. When it was April of 2025, oh man, why is everyone just suddenly driving here? Hold on. Alright, I'm just gonna leave. I don't want to be here. There's constantly people parking everywhere, going to the liquor store, in and out. It's annoying. Everyone's looking at me make a video. Like, there's literally people who parked outside next to me. Yeah, there's people who parked like right outside where I'm parked, and they were staring at me talking to the camera. I don't know, that's just annoying. Let's just go somewhere more peaceful. I don't like all these people hearing me talking, and because they can hear what I'm saying. So hold on, I'm just gonna like wait until this guy behind me passes and then I'll go. I fucking hate this stupid fucking parking lot. Come on, like, I want to go, but there's people driving behind me constantly, like, oh, I hate this place. I'm sorry, guys. I'll be ready to talk shortly. Hold on. This place is a fucking circus. Now I gotta let this lady pass. Okay, never mind. She went across. I'm good. I'll just park where the McDonald's parking lot is, and then I'll talk. I'm sorry, guys. Just gonna park somewhere better. It's just annoying, all these people constantly driving, and like, we'll just go somewhere else. But yeah, so anyways, as I was saying, so I figured out why I started to miss her eventually as time would go on. Yeah, because the dopamine feeling wore off. You know, because think about it this way. When I was with her and I kissed her, right, I felt so happy, so good, and this feeling would last a really long time because it still felt recent. Once the feeling wore off, then it's just like, now it just doesn't feel that good anymore. But that's also, you know, not the main reason why I miss her. I also miss her because I honestly did value her as a person too, you know. That girl made me really happy. So by the time, like, yeah, and I started to miss her a lot once like a year passed. I started to really miss her. Because especially when you don't see someone for like a year, you'll start to miss them if they were special, right? Now, October of 2025 marked a year since I saw her, and after that incident, since I saw her, I just started to randomly, out of nowhere, have really crippling, severe depression. The depression was really, really severe. It was really bad. I would think about her every day, and I felt so crushed, broken. I felt like absolute shit. Like, I felt really, really bad. And it's crazy that the moment me and her parted ways, I didn't feel that at all. I was happy, felt good. And yeah, 1 year later, once the 1 year anniversary came, I just started to like really, really, really miss her severely. And what also made it hurt is that in October 2025, I got on the train late at night, and it happened to be the same station where I got on the same night I met her. And yeah, and it felt like I'm repeating the same thing. It's also nighttime. I'm at the same station where I met her. I go on the train, and just the only difference is she's not there. This time she's not there. She's gone. And it's sad. Yeah, she's gone. Even though I feel like there's also a part of me that doesn't want to be with her, because I just, like, I don't know how to describe it, but I never properly got to know her as a person, and there was just something about her that felt very sketchy. And I don't know, it's like there might be, like, you never know, because I never properly got to know her. So I feel like, what if there are like red flags about her, you know? That's the thing. There might be red flags about her. What if I were to stay with her? What if me and her, hypothetically, were in a relationship and stayed together? Like, how would that play out? You know, like, it's very possible that the relationship would only last like 6 months to a year. And I don't know, there's just something about her that felt very sketchy. I don't know what it is. I mean, it's really weird how just 20 minutes after I met her, she was already like kissing me, and I don't know. So it's like, because you never know, right? And I'm not saying that's the case with her, but like, what if there's a lot of red flags about her? What if she does drugs? What if she's in a gang? Not likely, but you never know. What if she's just trouble overall? Because you never know, right? What if I'm actually keeping myself safe not being with her? What if I dodged a huge bullet? What if, even if I was with her, what if she would have ruined my life? What if she would have done something really bad to me? And again, I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying that you never know, because I never got to know her as a person. She felt sketchy, you know? She felt like a sketchy person. And I do feel like it's very possible that she would have done something really bad. And I often wonder, even if I were to see her again, let's just say hypothetically speaking, I'm not saying, I think it's extremely unlikely I'll ever see her again, but even if I were to see her again, what would happen, right? You don't know the outcome, right? It's very possible that she wouldn't even care about me if she saw me. Maybe she would have reacted like negatively, even if she saw me again, because you don't know, right? And that's kind of the thing that really hurt me a lot. Once a year passed since I didn't see her, I had this like, you know, I was so desperate to see her again. I had this like false sense of hope that maybe it's possible I'll see her again. But, and I know this might sound extremely painful, which it is very painful, but I eventually realized over time that the chance of me seeing her again is extremely unlikely. And I don't know, it's just like, as much as this hurts to say, I accepted the fact that I'll never see her again. It wasn't easy for me to make that decision. It was really, really painful. It's extremely painful to say that, but I just decided that I'm just gonna have to accept the fact that I'll never see her again, because, you know, it's just the reality of it, because, like, I never got her number. And here's what makes my situation extremely painful, is even if I wanted to see her again, even if I truly wanted to see her again, that would, like, almost never happen, you know? Like, I never got her number, I never got her social media. So even if I wanted to reach out, I don't have that option. That's what makes my situation really, really painful, because you miss her and you just have no way of ever reaching out to her. And my life thinking about her is a mystery. It's always a what if scenario. I'll never know where she is to this day. I'll never know what she's up to. I'll never know what she thinks about me. It's always just like, I have like a fear of the unknown. Even if I were to see her again, I don't know how she would react. What if she doesn't even care about me anymore? What if she like would just react negatively, just I don't matter to her anymore? You never know, right? So that's kind of what's crazy about my situation, is just the fact that it's like, it's always going to be a what if scenario. I'm never going to truly know like where she is to this day, what she thinks about me. It's very mysterious. And yeah, and so October 2026, so this year will be 2 years since I saw her. And the thing is, yeah, I learned a lot from my experience with her, and I don't have to forget about her. I don't have to like move on, because how I see it, like, you only move on from someone when you're actually ready, when you've actually accepted the fact, you know. And I know I'm always gonna miss her no matter what. I don't think I'll forever just move on and forget about her. I think she's always gonna be a memory for me. But one thing I did, though, which is very painful and very difficult, but something I still did nonetheless, is I decided to just fully accept that I'll never see her again. Because a couple of months ago, I was like refusing to say that. I was like, no matter what, I'll make it happen that I'll see her again. But I don't know, like, it's just the reality. It's the harsh, sad reality that even if I wanted to see her again, I mean, look at my situation. I'm not going to see her again. I don't have her phone number. I don't have her social media, you know, and it's like, I'm just not going to see her again, as painful as that sounds. And I just accepted it. Yes, again, it wasn't easy. It was very, very difficult for me to finally accept it, but I just made the decision to accept the fact that I'll never see her again. But then again, it's like I always have this other sense of hope that maybe I'll just meet someone better. Maybe I'll meet the right person. Because there's many women out there and I could meet someone even better. Doesn't mean I'll forget about her. I won't, but yeah, so that's basically all I had to say. And like, it's stupid to rely on a coincidence that, oh, what if I'll just run into her again as a coincidence? The chance of that happening is honestly extremely low. Very, very low. That's not going to happen, unfortunately. Even if I were to, for example, go to the same places she goes to, or if I were to go on the train again in hopes of seeing her again, the chance of that happening is very, very, very unlikely. You know, there's always people going on the train. It's super unlikely you'll run into someone at the same place at the same time, right? It doesn't mean she doesn't take the train. I'm sure she does, and I do, but we just go completely different ways. And so the chance of me hoping that what if some very unlikely coincidence will run into each other again, that's unfortunately very unlikely. So as painful as that is, I just accepted the fact that I'm not going to see her again. And I've learned a lot from it. It's not easy, but sometimes in life, as painful as it is, you just have to let a person go. That's a very harsh but true lesson that I learned. And I'm not saying that if you're someone who really misses someone, I'm not telling you that you have to forget about her, you have to move on. No, because I can't move on myself, right? That it's hurting me a lot because I really miss her, but it's like, I don't know. It's okay to miss someone. You don't have to forget about her or move on, but I don't know. I just had to accept that I'll never see her again. Even though, like I said, there's a part of me that feels like, you know, maybe it's for the best I won't see her again. I don't know. It's just hard to say for certain. But it's not easy. But I guess just one valuable lesson I've also learned is that there's some people who Sorry, my car just interrupted me, but there's just some people who, you know, they think they love someone, but really, as painful as it might sound, they're not the person that you think they are. There's people who love someone, they think they love someone, but then the girl ends up being not who you think she is. You know, that's very common. And I know how that feeling is, you know, because you feel like, you know, she's the person you want to be with. You have a positive connection with her. You build memories together, intimacy. And then at the end, she's just removed from your life. and there's nothing you can do about it, and it's painful. It's not easy. That's a lesson that I learned as well. I miss that girl. There's even a part of me that says I even love her, but it's like, I know that she probably wouldn't be good for me, honestly, because I know there's probably red flags about her. I know if me and her were together, it's very possible the relationship wouldn't last. It's possible that she would have like gotten me into something bad. And again, you don't know this person, right? Anything could have happened negatively. She could have maybe been a drug user. You never know. I'm not saying she is, but it's better to be safe than sorry, right? It's better to keep yourself safe than be with someone that's gonna like hurt you. Because maybe she would have hurt me. Maybe she would have completely been a bad influence on me. And it's possible by not seeing her, I'm dodging a huge bullet. That is very possible. So yeah. And I'm sorry guys that I'm kind of quiet. I was concentrating on leaving this area. I'm probably gonna go home for now. But is there anything else I wanted to say before I leave? It kind of sucks. There's a fucking bus in front of me. But yeah, unfortunately, you'll meet girls like that who, you know, they'll make you happy. They'll make you feel like they value you. You matter to them. But then again, it's like, you'll eventually realize that girl wasn't for you, meant for you, right? And it's painful. It's really hard to accept that, but some women are just like that, unfortunately. So, my advice, and I'm giving this both for myself and for anyone else, is just, if you figured out that a girl is not right for you, just don't take it personally. It's okay to be upset. I'm not expecting you to move on, but just like eventually come to terms that, you know, maybe she wasn't the right person, I don't know, and then you can always meet someone better. But I don't know, every person's situation is different, so I'm not like saying that for everyone, because I had a different situation. It was just a hookup, but it's like, but there was a part of me that just really like missed her a lot. Yeah, but okay, anyways, I guess I'm gonna go home, but I can't go home because this bus is still here. Come on. Come on. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna end the video. Thanks for watching, guys. Man, I hate this bus. Alright, see ya.